There is a new kind of impoverished individuals out there. Some of whom are poor because of how society is designed, while others are poor because they choose to be. They don't appear to be impoverished at first glance, yet they have to deal with constant financial stress. These are some 9 indications that you are part of the new lower class. First and foremost, you do not have a career. Rather, you have a job, and even that is at risk of becoming automated in the near future. You despise your job and barely make enough money to pay for your basic needs, while also affording you the opportunity to go out a few times a month. Despite the fact that your way of life is hanging by a thread, you persist because it hasn't broken yet. Since you are not interested in doing the work that you're doing now, there is no point in trying to figure out how to advance in your career, because doing so would require you to take on an even greater amount of responsibility while doing work that you find unpleasant. You perform poorly, but not to the point where you risk being fired. In return, your boss gives you just enough money to keep you from quitting. Although neither of you are thrilled with the situation, you continue. You've been thinking about purchasing some acreage outside of the city, where you can grow your own food and perhaps a few modest rentals to boost your earnings and give you more freedom to pursue your creative interests. You've had these thoughts for more than 10 years, yet you've done nothing. You don't see technology as threatening since you believe you can innovate yourself anyway, but there are less and less opportunities for this to be true as time goes on. You have retreated to such a depth that you are able to block everything out. Second, either your rent is so high that it takes up more than half of your salary, or you're still living at home with your parents. Your meager possessions can be stored in a carry-on suitcase. There are mortgages that span multiple generations now, meaning that your parents may have debt that they can't hope to repay throughout their own lives. Thus, they hand it along to you in the expectation that you will eventually take ownership of it. One of your most important goals in life is to purchase and maintain your own residence. Despite this, you continue to be oblivious to the fact that the residence in which you currently reside is not an asset, but rather a liability. You're among the newly impoverished because hearing that makes little sense to you. The baby boomers messed up everything for you, but you've got to take part of the blame for your own failures if you want to get anywhere. Thirdly, you have less than $1,000 in your emergency savings. Hence, there is no money set up for you in the event of an emergency. Ask yourself the following question. If you lost the ability to earn money starting immediately, would you be able to maintain your current lifestyle, including paying your rent and bills, eating well, and taking care of your health for 4 months? If the response is no, you should be aware that you're what is referred to as the new poor. One minor emergency could send you into bankruptcy. When this happened to you before, you probably had to take out a loan or sell some of your possessions to cover the costs. In reality, you avoid contemplating it for the same reason that many people would avoid visiting the doctor: fear of learning they have a genuine problem. By choosing to ignore the truth, you will ultimately cause greater harm to yourself. A fourth issue is that your purchasing power is declining faster than inflation. When prices rise faster than your salary, you've officially joined the ranks of the working poor. In the year 2021, for instance, the rate of inflation in the United States was 7%, which indicates that the general cost of most products went up by 7%. An additional 6.5% over 2021 will be added in 2022. Prices have therefore increased by 14% during the past 24 months. Have you seen a minimum twofold boost in your income or salary? Rent increased by 14.07% just in the past year. In order to maintain the same standard of living that you currently enjoy, you will require a raise in salary, regardless of what profession you were in. If your ability to generate money doesn't grow each year, you'll continue to fall further and further behind the rising costs of living. Fifthly, you owe money for various things, including possibly college loans. You learn that your college degree is useless in the modern job market. You remain working in your field of study, so you won't feel like you wasted your money, but you're getting paid far less than your counterparts in the plumbing and electrical trades. When you have debt, you're not dirt poor. In fact, you're less desperately poor than those who do not have any debt at all. You, however, do not have this privilege since you are, mathematically speaking, on the wrong end of the ledger. Even if you do make money, You must first pay the bank that serves as your master before you may live off the remainder. Your children will be responsible for paying off your college loans in the event that you're unable to do so. Sixth, you do not possess any assets that could be used for financial investment. Investing in or purchasing an asset that provides income or appreciates in value is the best way to build wealth over time. Something like an automobile is a liability rather than an asset. It requires gas, oil changes, and any other necessary maintenance at any time. So even having it costs you money. What do you possess besides yourself that is reliably profitable or appreciating in value? This very situation is the reason why a majority of the population is having trouble making ends meet. Those who are wealthy often purchase homes or flats, not to reside in them, but rather to rent them out and make money. Seventh, you are surrounded by people who have adopted the same style of life as you have. Everyone else in your immediate environment is going through a tough time. Nobody is prospering. That doesn't bother you, rather you point the finger at the system. We can identify someone only by looking at their circle of friends. If everybody is having the same problems and nobody is succeeding, then there is no way out, no one to guide you, and no one to make way for you. Many in the new lower class have given up hope. Given that the issues seem to be beyond your control, you decide to remain mediocre since you lack the urge to make any changes. The company of failures, the poor, and uninspired can be depressing. You can benefit from hanging out with a successful set of people rather than a bunch of failures. It's fine to be friendly, but don't expect to get any useful information that may benefit your life from them. Eighth, you pay a higher total price for the items you purchase since you opt to pay in installments. Installment plans and other forms of deferred payment can be found anywhere you shop. Most individuals don't know that this service comes with interest that can add up to 30% to the total cost compared to paying it all at once. Generally speaking, a shop's standard flat interest rate will range from 11 to 27%. The merchant ultimately makes more money than the item's suggested retail price. Even though you have enough cash on hand to take it home with you today, this does not necessarily guarantee that you can afford it. Ninth, you use digital currency rather than actual cash while transacting. You'd probably think that we are insane if we told you that cash was the most valuable form of payment. When money is transferred from an individual to credit card issuers, it goes via 32 separate digital transactions. Please give us a moment of your time, because what you're about to hear might completely shatter your mind. If you have $50 in the bank and you want to buy goods online using your smartphone or a credit or debit card, you should know that MasterCard, Visa, and the payment processors will charge you a fee of between 2.87% and 4.35% of the total amount. While if I hand you $100, that's exactly what you'll have in your hands. The store keeps the entire $100 you spend there, and they also charge you a monthly fee for the privilege of storing your money in their establishment's account. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, I truly appreciate it. Click the subscribe button down below if you wish to transition from the life you have right now to the life you truly desire.